ONN. This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle, joined by Scotty Vegas. Ryan Baker at the controls. This is a show about sports gambling. We're going to talk a lot about Ohio State football as well. Scotty Vegas, how you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good.
I can barely talk English, apparently.
Dave, you know what? Saturdays in the fall are just the absolute best. And we all know that, but my gosh, it was so fun yesterday just watching football from noon all the way till midnight. I mean, it is just so spectacular. I love every minute of it. I'm excited for the NFL today, but I almost want to fast forward to next Friday night and have more college football on my TV.
And speaking of Friday night, as you texted Friday night, there was a couple of good Friday night football games
Great
on.
games. Yes.
Love it. They've taken away Thursday college football from us, which for years was a staple. They were good Thursday night games. NFL's taken that over. And I get it. If you're a huge high school football fan, you don't like that there's college football on Friday nights. They're not putting like Alabama, Georgia on a Friday night, though. They throw Syracuse on there, and Syracuse, Stanford. If that was buried on ACC Network yesterday, no one would have watched it. It's on Friday night. Especially, I bet the ratings in Columbus, Ohio are pretty high because of Mr. Kyle McCord being the quarterback for Syracuse. Stanford won that game. Then you had ranked opponents Illinois and Nebraska going. Nebraska favored by and Nebraska was favored by 7, I believe. Illinois won that game in overtime. 2 very good games. Yeah, it was very, very entertaining. Unless yesterday, throughout, it was just a fun day. Unless you thought that USC would understand going into Ann Arbor, Michigan, you got to stack the box. You know, they can't throw the ball. I think they finally figured it out in the fourth quarter, other than that one long run that really broke their back. But imagine if they would have came into that game, and we're going to get to Ohio State in a second, with that game plan and did it the entire time, like knowing that Michigan can't throw the ball. For Michigan to rush or throw for 32 yards and still win that game, man, Lincoln Riley can't put together a good defensive. And I know he's not the defensive coordinator, but the buck stops with the head coach, especially one that makes $10 million a year.
Yeah, and look, Michigan dominated that first half, went into it 14-3, and it was like, okay, they're probably just going to control the clock in the second half and win this game. And USC came back, and I was shocked. Once USC got the lead, with how bad the Michigan offense was, especially in that second half, because it was awful for a long period of time, it felt like that, yeah, once USC got over that hump, got the lead, that they were going to win the football game. And Michigan, credit to them, had a really long run, got back in it, and then on 4th and 1 converted and just did what Michigan does and pounds the ball and got in for a touchdown. But, yeah, it was terrific. One thing I want to say about that, Dave, too, is it's just fun now, the fact that USC, Oregon, Washington, UCLA are part of the Big Ten. Like at first it was like, oh, this is going to be a little bit weird. But now that we got these kind of matchups, and in 2 weeks we're going to see Ohio State, Oregon, and the fact that that's going to be a conference game, it just adds to the fun of the college football season when you have matchups like this week in and week out now.
And now the Buckeyes go into Big Ten play, done with this brutal non-conference slate against 2 MAC teams and a Sun Belt team. Although I thought Marshall, played pretty solid yesterday, and we're gonna get into that. Buckeyes came in, favored 39.5 points over the Thundering Herd. Buckeyes do not cover. They win by 35. Here's the thing, though. Ohio State started slow, but I thought Marshall actually played pretty well in the first half. I'll give their quarterback credit. He made a couple of throws. I was like, wait a minute, that was not bad defense at all. That was just a quarterback making a play. Obviously, their wrinkle was not that he's an explosive runner, but I thought that was smart. It reminded me of Ohio State coming out in the 2002 National Championship game with Craig Krenzel. We're just going to run quarterback draws till you stop it. And they never really stopped it, Ohio State. That was disappointing. Ohio State didn't really adjust to the quarterback run, unless you consider knocking the quarterback out of the game. That's basically what it took. And again, he's not breaking off 20-yard runs, but very effective. 3rd down and 4, he's picking up 5 yards moving the chains. So I thought I give Marshall a little credit. I also love their head coach. The stuff with the biscuits and trying to get guys to transfer there, that stuff is hilarious. So Ohio State started slow, 28-14. Then I thought Ohio State looked really good in the second half, and of course took their foot off the gas. But I don't walk away from that game, Scotty, like disappointed in the Buckeyes. They're coming off a bye. They probably weren't highly motivated. And then they looked like the juggernaut we want them to. And some of those explosive plays Ohio State was making on offense, they weren't even intended to necessarily be explosive plays. They're just naturally explosive. Quinshon Judkins, we can talk about a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins, man. Wow. And Travion looks great.
Yeah.
Travion Henderson looks great. Dare I say, Quinshon looks better than great.
It's incredible, right? I mean, watching the 1-2 punch, and we knew going into the year that this was going to be exciting and those two were going to be dominant backs. But man, oh man, yesterday, I remember I was at the casino yesterday. We were doing like a halftime talk. Tim Hall and I talking about the gambling aspects of the game, and we were looking at some of the stats, and it was like Ohio State was averaging 14.5 yards per play in the first half, and it was just like, they were just so dominant. Every single play, it felt like it was going for potentially the distance. And whenever they were handing the ball off to Quinshon, it was like, oh, well, he could go, and just some of those runs were spectacular. And that is why I believe now the sports books have adjusted, and pretty much across the board now, Dave, Ohio State is the betting favorite to win the national championship. Not just because of the fact that Ohio State beat Marshall pretty handily yesterday, but the fact that some of these other top teams, like Georgia struggling the week before against Kentucky, I think that kind of moved some of the lines a little bit as well. But Ohio State now, almost across the board, every sports book you look at has Ohio State at the top with the best odds to win it all, including the sports book that you and I go to, which is Hollywood Casino Sportsbook at ESPN Bet.
Interesting. I always look at that as the true poll.
Yes.
Like what is and we refer to Vegas sports books. Like, no, we have Ohio sports books as well, like Hollywood Casino, the great sports book over there with Noah Kirk and our friends. So yeah, man, it's interesting. I would think Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the lowest odds, not Ohio State. But that's interesting that Ohio State has the lowest odds. But Texas, that win over Michigan, I was thinking, is that really going to be a quality win when it's all said and done? Michigan beating USC certainly helps Texas in that regard.
Well, okay, so let me update those odds. This is again from ESPN Bet, Hollywood Casino Columbus. Ohio State is plus 325 to win it all. That is the favorite. Georgia is 4-1. Texas 5-1. Alabama now 8-1. Then you got Tennessee, who obviously looked very good last night again.
Really good. Tennessee, and they have a defense. 2 years ago they were good, but they didn't have a defense. This year, yes, they're good, and they have a really good defense.
They move up to 11-1. Oregon is in there at 12-1. Ole Miss 13-1, and a team who I still have circled as value, Miami at 18-1. So those are kind of your first 8 teams, and then you got Penn State at 22. So
and Cam Ward is still the betting favorite to win the Heisman. By the way, the Jeremiah Smith Heisman situation might have taken it, not any fault of his own.
Yeah,
it's just
that's fine.
They gave him. Mecca had a big game. Cornell Tate got his. Judkins went over 3,000 career rushing yards. Next week at Michigan State, we're going to get into that in a little bit. Travion Henderson will go over 3,000 career rushing yards. I've never seen that. No, I would have to look it up. But 2 running backs on the same college team that will have 3,000 career rushing yards. Both of them have 3,000. I've never seen anything like that. Speaking of that Michigan State game. All right, how's this going to be next Saturday? What's the point spread? We're going to get into Ohio State, Michigan State next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casino's On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You could place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
Have we spent enough time telling homeowners how much the name ECO can actually mean?
Well, I did name the company that, so yes.
I mean explaining that ECO can stand for how much better we can make your plumbing, ecologically speaking.
Get Eco.
A tankless water heater, for example. Switching to tankless means your family has unlimited hot water. Shower after shower after shower, without having to use precious electricity to keep a big tank of water hot 24 hours a day. It's ecological.
Pretty good wordplay for a guy that almost failed English, don't you think?
Get Eco.
ECO.
I think if more people knew they could help the planet just by taking a shower, I think we might be onto something.
That's not quite as ecological as the first thing you said, but okay.
You know, I'm working on inventing a new kind of junk mail that throws itself away.
And the planet thanks you, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Shop new dollar deals at Meijer. $1 is all you need when you shop hundreds of participating items, like select bell peppers, Swanson broth, or Campbell's soup, and 1.25 liters of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, all just $1 each. That's it. Pay just $1 on select items with Meijer dollar deals for a limited time. Limit 10 per item. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Oh, the things that we talk about during the break here. And we were just discussing Indiana's playoff potential. That's what we were discussing, Dave and I. Dave was all over Indiana before the season started. I'm all over Indiana right now because I think that people are struggling as far as the odds maker to realize how good of a team this Indiana team is. And they go ahead and they dominated Charlotte yesterday. That line was only 28. Indiana easily covers that. They've looked good against UCLA.
And UCLA gave LSU a decent, you're thinking, well, UCLA's terrible. And I thought both things were true. That Indiana is a lot better than people thought, and UCLA's terrible. UCLA actually gave LSU, not USC. They gave LSU a decent game yesterday.
And Indiana beat them on the road 42-13. So a dark horse. And I know it's 12-1, but we just kind of like throwing different values out at you guys. 12-1 that Indiana goes to the playoff this year. They're going to lose in Columbus, so count that as a loss. But if they go 11-1 in the Big Ten, they're going to make the playoff. And their only tough game, really, they have a couple tough ones, but they have Nebraska at home and they have Michigan at home. Both winnable. If you win those two, there's a good chance this Indiana Hoosier team could go 11-1 and make the college football playoff.
It's crazy. If they are sitting there at 11-1, their one losses to Ohio State, dare I say Indiana's a lock? How would they not be one of the top 11 teams? 11-1.
Yeah.
Your one loss is to Ohio State
at
in
Ohio
Columbus.
State. Yes.
Now, I guess if they get beat like 80-0, it might be different. But like this, I mean, yeah, Signetti's won everywhere he's been. This is his fourth coaching stop, and he's not. He kind of rubs people the wrong way. Maybe that's why he's taken him a while to move up. But he's not afraid to tell you. Just Google me. All I do is win, no matter what. It's very, very entertaining. And listen, Scotty, as we know, the over-under for Indiana's win total was 5.5 coming into the year. I think they're going to start 6-0.
Yes.
I mean, they play Maryland this coming week. The line opened at 5, as you were saying. You jumped on that. Now it's all the way up to 7.5 already. They're going to beat Northwestern, I think, the following week. That's 6-0 right there. Nebraska, pretty equal game for Indiana, I think, but it's in Bloomington. They'll probably be slightly favored, like you said. During our deep discussion during the break. Michigan, you have to think will be favored in Bloomington, but still
maybe
a winnable game.
Not.
Maybe not. A winnable. If Indiana goes into that game realizing, unlike USC got the memo at halftime, I think. Oh, Michigan can't throw the ball. That wasn't just fake news. Maybe we should stack the box. So that's a winnable game, and that's their toughest one other than Ohio State. Purdue. They'll beat Purdue. Dude, they could seriously go 11-1.
And the value is there, right? I mean, 12-1 to make the college football playoff. And part of the reason why we're bringing up Indiana is I was looking ahead at lines for next week's games already. I always like to do that immediately when I wake up on Sunday morning to see if there's any value out there. I do believe in the value on Indiana against Maryland. Now, when I first saw that line, it was 5.5. It has ticked up to 7.5. I still like giving the points with Indiana. Another team that I think that in the Big Ten that the odds makers have not quite adjusted to yet, it's Rutgers. Rutgers, by the way, Greg Schiano has them playing well. They go on the road, beat Virginia Tech yesterday, and they are now 3-0, and that is a sneaky good Big Ten team as well. So there's a couple teams in the Big Ten, like Rutgers and Indiana, that are dangerous. So let's now, though, I want to get to the Ohio State-Michigan State line. We know that game is next Saturday night, 7 o'clock, and I want you and Ryan to take your best guess at what the line is for Ohio State-Michigan State.
My first reaction was 27.5. Michigan State favored. Kidding. Ohio State favored, obviously. 27.5. What do you think?
That's a little higher than I was thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking like 23, 24, somewhere in that range, but you might be right. I haven't paid attention to Michigan State, and they're not very good.
We tend to do pretty well, I think, when we split the difference, and maybe this will be the exception to the rule. So I say 27.5. What do you say?
I was thinking like 24.
Okay.
25.5?
We'll go, yeah. Oh, God, he has that
26?
look on his face. I don't know what to make of it. This is a good poker face for Scott. He's either going to laugh at us or be like, you guys got it.
He's smiling, so we didn't get it.
Oh, I usually do enjoy when you guys are way off. But in this case, you guys are on the money.
Yeah.
The actual line, 24.5.
Ryan Baker's on the money.
Ohio State, basically, so yeah, 24.5 point favorites,
Nice job.
minus 4,000 on the money line. Michigan State 14-1 on the money line. The over/under on the game 49.5.
Ooh,
So spread at 24.5.
I like Ohio State. I mean, listen, Michigan State's better than people expected. They've got a talented young quarterback, but you know he's mistake prone. Definitely talented. Aiden Childs, sophomore, that their coach brought with him from Oregon State. Man, last time Michigan State beat Ohio State in East Lansing, it was 1999, and Nick Saban was the Spartans head coach. It's been a while since 25 years since Michigan State's beaten Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to roll them.
I do too. I'm initially looking at that 24.5. I would take Ohio State and I would give the points right out of the gates here. Hey, I want to talk more Ohio State. I know we have Browns next on the schedule here, but let's rip up the show sheet, move Browns to later on in the hour. Don't worry, we'll get you the betting advice on Cleveland and on Cincinnati, but we want to talk more Buckeyes next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to substantial returns and increased personal enjoyment. Hiring a certified arborist can help care for your trees and prevent storm damage. Inspections by Ohio ISA certified arborists can often find and mitigate tree defects before they fail. Only professionals with specialized knowledge and training are properly equipped to provide appropriate care. To find an arborist, visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
I wanted to talk a lot of Ohio State football on the show. We're going to do that, on the show every Sunday morning after an Ohio State football Saturday. And so I put a lot of Ohio State football stuff on the show sheet. And Scotty's like, no, we're doing more Ohio State football than that. I love you. Let's go. More Ohio State football.
Yeah. And by the way, you can participate with us here on the show. We want to hear from you. We will be taking your calls in the first segment at 10 o'clock. Okay. So we'll give you the opportunity to give your opinions on the game yesterday. But Dave, I want to ask you this. We're done with the non-conference schedule. The 3 games are over. Ohio State dominated every single one of them. Covered one, but almost covered all 3. Very close. Could have gone either way yesterday. Obviously, Ohio State up 35 late. Has the ball. The line was 39.5, 40. Ohio State had a chance to cover. Didn't. Kind of sat at the ball at the end there. But I want you to grade for me the 3 non-conference games as a whole. Like, what letter grade would you give the Buckeyes through 3 games? And again, it was an easy test. It was like a layup test after layup test after layup test. Marshall, a little bit tougher. But where do you grade the Buckeyes through these first 3 games?
So I feel like we're going to nitpick certain things, and people maybe might say, oh, it's this grade or that grade. I have to give them at least, I'll give them an A-, okay? Because they're like, well, what about this and that? I get it. And I'm going to get to some things they've got to shore up. But what were you saying earlier, Scotty, about the betting odds to win the national title?
They are the favorite.
Ohio State's the favorite.
So you got to nitpick,
right? No, I mean you don't have to nitpick. That's what I'm saying. Like if people are going to be like, well, they've looked kind of mediocre, have they? I mean, yeah, it would be great if they went out there and won every game like they did against Western Michigan, which is a near perfect performance. But Marshall might be better than people thought. They still won that game by 35 and sat on the ball. So like most of the time, they look like what I wanted them to look like. Now, there are times I'm like, come on, this defensive line's got to step up. This is Marshall's offensive line. Or, there's times like, come on, the offensive line needs to be blocking better than this against Akron. So, of course, there's been some things that have been frustrating. They've started slow 2 of the 3 games. Special teams looked like it was much improved through the first 2 weeks and went off the rails yesterday. Brandon Ennis is lucky he didn't get a fumbled punt, which would have been huge. Probably wouldn't have mattered if they would have won or lost the game. But still, Jaden Fielding, we were used to it. They tried to do the coffin kick on the kickoff to pin them deep, which you really don't even need to do now because they're just going to call a fair catch anyway. Just kick it through the end zone. Did it once. Okay, that's happened. We've seen that since the beginning of the Urban Meyer era. Did it twice. It's like, oh, geez, better not do it again. Does it again. I made the joke, like, is Jaden Fielding even going to come out the locker room in the second half? I don't think he did. They put the young man, the walk-on from Groveport in there, Austin Snyder. So they've got to shore up special teams. Jaden Ballard has already been benched as the kickoff returner. I'd like to see Mylan Graham back there. I'll give them an A-.
So it's so funny because I wrote down a grade during the last break, and I wrote down A-. A-. Yeah, I mean, look, looking through the 3 games as a whole, the biggest concern was the start of game 1, right? It was a slow start against Akron. But other than that, like, I feel really good about Ohio State's running game going forward. I feel pretty darn good about the expectations from Jeremiah Smith were so crazy high. He's met those. This defense, crazy high expectations. They didn't give up a single touchdown in the first 2 weeks. Played really pretty solid. I know they gave up some yards. They gave up that late touchdown at the end of the first half against Marshall yesterday where it was maybe by a centimeter.
That's as close. And I think it was a touchdown. At first I was like, because the one angle looks like his foot's out.
Yeah.
But then the other angle looks like it barely was in.
Yeah. But those would be the nitpick for me is, the slow start against Akron, giving up some yards yesterday against Marshall, and then, as you said, the special teams, because we know how important special teams is going to be. Once you get into that playoff, you have to nitpick because Ohio State's expectations are a national championship, right? When you are the betting favorite, the expectations are to win it all. You got to look at every little detail, and special teams is probably now the biggest concern. I know we still need to talk about the offensive line, but because the opponents haven't been to that level yet. So we still can't grade the offensive line as being great, but they looked awesome yesterday.
The left side of the offensive line, I think we can say, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Getting Donovan Jackson back, and, I'm glad Austin Seiverveld is here. He's redshirt freshman. His future's bright. He was rotating with Tegra there at right guard yesterday. You talk to the coaches, you watch it for yourself with Josh Simmons at left tackle, Donovan Jackson at left guard, and then Seth McLaughlin. He's half of him is the left side. At center there, those 3 guys, man. That's as good of a left side maybe as there is in college football. Now we have to get Josh Fryer playing better at right tackle. Need him playing better at right tackle.
So your grade through the first 3 games, non-conference, again, easy opponents, but your grade is an A-. My grade is an A-. We'll hear from the listeners next hour and their grades on the Buckeyes. Ryan, what would you say through 3 games, how you would grade this Buckeye team?
Guys, I feel like I'm usually a pretty tough grader on stuff like this. Like, I look at it pretty with a fine-tooth comb. I give this Buckeye team an A so far. I think Akron and Marshall, they're not the greatest teams, but I think they both came in here, and I think they played really well. I think they gave Ohio State their best shot, both of them. Ohio State has dominated all 3 of these teams. They haven't had a moment where you're like, uh-oh, this is a little sketchy right here, I don't think. And a lot of teams around the country have. And we talk about the slow start. I think that's just the college football world we're going to live in when you have a running back, a quarterback, and a center all playing at Ohio State for the first time. They're going to have some jitters in the shoe. So I think that was expected almost from me. I think they've done, all you can do is play who's on your schedule, and I think they've done just about as good as they could. So I give them an A.
Cleveland Browns against New York Giants today. What's the point spread?
Woof.
How are the Browns going to do? That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Shop new dollar deals at Meijer. $1 is all you need when you shop hundreds of participating items, like select bell peppers, Swanson broth, or Campbell's soup, and 1.25 liters of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, all just $1 each. That's it. Pay just $1 on select items with Meijer dollar deals for a limited time. Limit 10 per item. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a Realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Barely 5 hours a week. It's how much time most of us spend outdoors. Not nearly enough time getting lost in canopies of breathtaking fall colors. Brilliant hues extending all across America's third most forested state. We could all use a little more time outdoors, soothing mind, body, and spirit in West Virginia. Plan your fall getaway at wvtourism.com.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, so we got the Cleveland Browns, a 6.5-point favorite over the New York Giants today. Browns minus 290 on the money line. The over-under total very low, 38.5. And Giants are terrible. They are really, really, really bad. And a good opportunity for the Browns today. Now, I will say this. I'll give you a stat that doesn't bode well as far as covering the spread for the Browns. Because since 2010, when an 0-2 team faces a team that is not 0-2 in Week 3, the 0-2 team is 53, 32, and 2 against the spread. That's 62%. So that kind of points to, that's a lot of points, 6.5 points today. Your thoughts, Dave, on the Browns who looked, Deshaun Watson looked obviously improved in Week 2 versus Week 1.
Much improved.
Yeah.
I mean, exponentially improved. I thought he looked like a fish out of water Week 1 and then looked really good last week. And if you're a Browns fan, you have to be thinking, geez, we were hoping he would just not look like a disaster and maybe have some flashes of his old self. He looked really good. So, I can't see the Giants winning this game. I'm not sure, I don't have a good feel for whether the Browns will cover the spread. But Ryan Baker, you and Browns Nation must be feeling pretty good all of a sudden. Deshaun looked terrible Week 1 and looked good last week.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not most of Browns Nation. I do not feel good about this Browns team at all. I did tell you guys I thought that they would win and cover last week. I did like the Browns last week against the Jags. I'm about 75% sure that they cover today and they beat this Giants team, but I think just that pessimistic, negative Browns fan inside me, the 43 years of watching this team just crap down its leg for the most part, is not letting me pick the Browns on that. That's holding me back a little bit. I feel pretty good about the Browns today. They should win this game by a couple scores.
A game you can hear right here.
Right here on the Fan.
97.1 The Fan.
Our good buddy Tyvis Powell right after us at 11.
Right after us at 11, pregame coverage starts. They don't mess around. They have a 2-hour pregame show. So right after On the Money at 11 o'clock, Cleveland Browns pregame coverage starts with this man right here, if you're watching on YouTube, Tyvis Powell. I'm pointing to the fat head of Tyvis Powell and the Browns radio network. So hopefully the Browns can get it done. Let's look real quick at Monday night. There's 2 Monday night games. Jaguars, Bills. Will start us off at 7:30. Bills favored by 5. Bengals, can they get off the schneid here to start? You mentioned 0-2 teams, playing teams that are not 0-2. Bengals 0-2 at home, favored by 7 over the 1-1 Commanders. And I know I have a good friend that I'm looking at right now who likes the Bengals.
I told you during the break, I would be surprised if the Bengals don't win this game by 14 plus. Like, this is one where this is get right time, right? 0-2. They looked really good last week against the Chiefs. Should have beat the Chiefs. You look at that AFC North standings, and you'll see the Ravens and the Bengals at the bottom at 0-2. You'll see the Steelers at the top at 2-0. The betting odds still have the Bengals as the favorite, though, to win the AFC North. And am I wrong, Dave? As a Bengals fan, I think you got to feel pretty good about last week and feel pretty confident going into Monday.
Definitely. It's weird if your team loses a game and even loses on it was by the letter of the law the correct call on that 4th and 16 pass from Mahomes, the Bengals safety, the rookie Dejon Anthony. By the letter of the law, that was pass interference. Now, you could say whatever. The point is, for your team to lose in that fashion, and especially me, I'm very passionate. I know I'm not breaking news to you guys. For me to walk away from that, not being angry and actually I'm talking like right after the game, not after I thought about it 2 hours later. I'm like, damn, I'm actually encouraged.
Yeah.
Bengals just outplayed the Chiefs in Kansas City. Chiefs had to get lucky to win, barely on a last-second field goal. I'm like, that's the best team in the league. Now, here's the flip side of that. What happened the previous week? The Bengals lost to one of the worst teams in the NFL. Did we know for sure it was one of the worst teams in the NFL? I thought it was. Now we know for sure the Patriots are awful, and the Bengals somehow lost to them at home. But the NFL is weird, man. Teams look different from one week to the next. As a Browns fan, you know that. As a Bengals fan, I know that. It's such a bipolar league. So we'll see if the Bengals can cover that 7-point spread. I'm with you. I think they will get that done tomorrow night.
So updating the ESPN Bet AFC North odds, the Bengals, again, 0-2, but they are the favorite to win the division at plus 185. The Ravens are 2-1. Steelers, 2-0 right now. I think a good chance they get to 3-0 today. They are 3-1 to win the AFC North, and the Browns plus 450. So that's kind of interesting to me that the way the odds still shake out is the two teams that are 0-2 are still favored to win the division. Kind of makes sense. You know what's next, Dave? It's one of our favorite new segments on the show. It's called That's Trash. It's coming up next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You could place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Here, Heart Care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com. Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee, then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. Yeah. All for $6, all just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When it comes to being a Newman Roofing customer, you can trust they're always going to put your needs first. They're going to give you the white glove treatment so you feel confident you're making the best decision. So don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
We're going to do That's Trash in just a second, but Scotty and I, the biggest thing, we want to make you guys money, and nothing's a lock in sports, as I learned by saying that USC was definitely going to cover against Michigan. But listen, you were asking me, okay, Illinois at Penn State, guess the spread.
Yep.
I'm like,
Because it surprised me.
I went Penn State by 8.5, and you go Penn State by 17.5?
17.5.
Illinois has a good defense, and they have a good quarterback.
That is a very intriguing line.
I'll be surprised if Illinois doesn't cut. I think Illinois is going to give them a good game.
Yes.
I think Penn State will win. That's one you might want to jump on now.
So I like to do this as an exercise to try and figure out where I think the line should be. I mentally, before I actually looked at the 17.5, I thought, okay, Illinois probably about a 10-point underdog at Penn State. And so it feels like, and we could be off, right? But it feels like there's a lot of value. And so you like to double check with somebody like you who was even less. Like you said, you thought it'd be about a touchdown, right? And so we kind of both agree that there's a decent amount of value in that one. Now, the other line that stood out to me was Indiana and Maryland, and I thought that line was a little bit low. You and I are high on Indiana. We've been talking about them. You've been talking about them for a very long time, but that's another line that jumps out to me. Everybody's looking at Georgia, Alabama for next Saturday night. That line, by the way, is Alabama plus 2.5 at home. So that line is out, available 2.5 at home, Alabama.
Yeah, it's interesting. You have three teams in the Big Ten, and it seems like it's taken the odds makers a while to adjust. And you can see what Indiana, Rutgers, and Illinois.
Yes.
Those are three legit good teams that are not known as being good football teams, to say the least. So those teams are not trash this year, Scotty. But this next segment, hit it, Ryan.
Take out the papers and the trash. Or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak.
That's trash.
All right. My friends here are going to be shocked that I'm going to start off with this one. Lincoln Riley and the defensive game plan for USC was trash. It was almost as if at halftime they got the memo. Hey, Michigan can't throw the ball. Stack the box. Really? Like, how did you guys not know that coming into the game? I saw one play. It was a 3rd and 4, I believe. They had 3 down linemen against a Michigan team that can't throw the ball. 3 down linemen, not 3rd and 14, 3rd and 4. Okay, that was the worst. This is no hyperbole. And at least in recent memory, the worst defensive game plan that I can remember. You know for sure they can't throw the ball. They basically have a fullback at quarterback. You go in there and you have no game plan in the first half at all. They rush for 199 yards in the first half, Michigan does. Now, USC adjusts, but that just makes them look even dumber. How did you really needed to see the first half to know Michigan couldn't throw the ball? Listen, one thing we know about a Lincoln Riley team, they're always going to struggle to field even a competent defense. Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley's the offensive coach. Lincoln Riley's the head coach. He makes $10 million a year. Buck stops with him. That defensive game plan was trash.
That's why I don't read the newspaper, because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage.
Good timing with that drop, because Mike Gundy dropping that game yesterday to Utah and Oklahoma State looked like garbage, losing to Utah. But I'm going to go with, I'm excited for next Saturday night, right? Really pumped. Georgia, Alabama. But unfortunately, it's trash that it's on at the exact same time as Ohio State, Michigan State. And look, I can do 2 TVs. I will actually be at the casino. I've already talked to Chris Hollywood, and I said, this is the table that I'm going to be sitting at because I want to see the big screen, but I also need to see a pretty good second screen.
Is that our normal table,
Georgia.
or did you pick
our normal table?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Now, I need to be able to see this Georgia-Alabama game. I just hate that both games are going to be going on at the same time because it really is Georgia-Alabama. You always, over the years in the SEC, it felt like those teams never played each other in the regular season. It just, the way the schedule would work out, the SEC would make some kind of way that they wouldn't play until the SEC championship game, and I always hated that. But I hate the fact, and it is trash, that Ohio State, Michigan State is the same time as Georgia-Bama next Saturday night.
When I'm dead, just throw me in the trash.
All right, guys. Earlier this week, I got the call that I had to come in and produce the morning show, which is no big deal, but I got it late. And I wasn't prepared for it. And when you come in and produce the morning show, you got to get in here. I think I got in here at like 2:30 in the morning, cut up sound, all of that stuff. A lot of stuff to do before you actually go on air at 6 a.m. And I love doing it. It was fun. But that late call for it just threw my sleep schedule off. And for the rest of the week, I couldn't go to sleep when I normally do. I was up late. Then it throws your day off. I literally had to, I believe it was Friday, just like I had a lot of stuff to do. And I was like, I'm just going to stay up. I'm going to go through it. I had to try to like reset my whole sleep schedule. So getting off of your sleep schedule, that is trash.
I want to follow up on that because throwing off my sleep schedule, I think, ruined a bet for me yesterday because I was up at 4:30 in the morning getting ready for the tailgate show and the pregame show yesterday. And so I was up so early, and I had a bet on the 10:30 Kansas State BYU game. Everything, my parlay was built for that to be the last game. But I was so tired at that point. Again, 4:30 start to the day, a game starting at 10:30 at night, no nap in between. It was my daughter's birthday. We had a bunch of people over. There was no
Happy birthday.
sleeping. Yes. So I did not get the opportunity to get a nap in, and so I missed out on a good hedge last night.
Up next, let's do even more That's Trash on the Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you want to
job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to the show. All right, top of the hour. Don't call right now because the phone lines are not open, so you don't want to just hear the busy signal. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you. We're going to do this every Sunday, top of the hour, 10 a.m. We're going to hear from you on Ohio State football, college football in general, NFL, betting stories, betting advice, anything. Give us a call. Ryan will open the phone lines just past 10 o'clock, so give us a call, 614-821-9710. Again, that's 614-821-9710. You also can hit us up on our YouTube page. We already have some comments on our YouTube page, 97.1 The Fans YouTube page. You can also actually watch the show live there. You can hit us up on Twitter. We have a couple of comments on our Twitter page. You are at Scotty Vegas 971. I'm at Dave Biddle, and you also can hit us up at On the Money 971 on the Twitter machine. All right. So again, I'm gonna give that number out one more time: 614-821-9710. Love to hear from you guys. All right, let's do some more. That's trash. All right. The new kickoff rule in the NFL is trash. I think at first we were like, I think we talked about, do we like it? We debated it. We were all kind of not really fans of it. Now that I've really had a chance to watch it for a couple of weeks and see some of the results, it's first of all, it's not having the intended result. What was the intent other than safety, which whether or not you believe that's neither here or there.
I don't.
But what was the other big thing? We're going to see more returns, or we won't, because what are they going to do now? They're just going to say, okay, we'll just give you the ball at the 30, because really the average kickoff goes about to the 29 anyway. So we're losing 1 yard there, but we have no risk of you returning it deep. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that philosophy, because you could tackle them before the 29. You could, there could be a penalty. Anyway, regardless, this was one that they overthought it. There was nothing wrong with the way we did kickoffs before. It looks stupid. It's not functional. The reasons they did it are not coming to fruition. So the new kickoff rule in the NFL is trash.
Take out the trash.
I'm with you. I don't like it either. I really don't. And I know that they at one time proposed onside kicks potentially being like a 4th and 15 situation where you just line up your offense versus the defense, and it's like 4th and 15. You convert, then you have the ball. I still love that initial idea. I think that would be kind of a cool thing for them to try. All right. You know what was trash yesterday? Was the heat. All right. Like, we have these Saturdays in the fall, and I felt bad for the people heading into the shoe. I was down on campus, and I was sweating like crazy. And I see all these people who are about to head into the shoe, 100,000 fans. And it's like, I don't know how you could sit there in the sun in that heat. People pay good money for their tickets, obviously, enjoy Buckeye football. You only get 8 home games a year. And for the fact that in late September, we had that 90 degrees, that was trash. Take me back to when we get 60-degree days, maybe 70 degrees in September, but 90 degrees in September, that's trash.
I love it because it's trash. I've been trying to tell you guys about that heat. It's no good. I don't like it.
It's no good.
Oh, well, you don't need to tell me. It's absolutely no good. This has been a drive and cut my grass in like 6 weeks. It's my daughters play high school tennis. Every match is like they're playing like 90 degrees. Supposedly this week we're going to have a cool down. We'll see.
Guys, I didn't have to deal with it much yesterday, but I was coming to the station and I was running somewhere to grab a drink and a snack because I was coming from Ohio Dominican football. And Ohio State traffic, it was well after the game, and there was still traffic around here, and it wasn't even like right at the stadium. Like, that traffic getting out in and out of the stadium is trash.
I'll go real quick on this one. I mentioned this a little bit, but that Bengals Week 1 loss against the Patriots just looks even worse. The Patriots look terrible. That Bengals Week 1 loss was trash.
It was. We knew they weren't good. the Patriots.
To lose to them at home with a rookie head coach, and then it's like, well, maybe the Patriots can be better than we thought. No, the Patriots are awful.
And watching that game with you and steam coming out of you, all areas of your body, steam was coming out.
Calm down. I know. I'm glad I could entertain you guys. The first hour of the show is in the books. If you're listening on the Fan, stick around for the second hour. This is On the Money.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee, then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6, all just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Shop new dollar deals at Meijer. $1 is all you need when you shop hundreds of participating items, like select bell peppers, Swanson broth, or Campbell's soup, and 1.25 liters of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, all just $1 each. That's it. Pay just $1 on select items with Meijer dollar deals for a limited time. Limit 10 per item. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. A little bit of a slow start for Ohio State yesterday as they were tied at 7 after 1, but they cruised to a 49-14 win over Marshall. Will Howard throws for 275 and 2 scores. Quinshon Judkins, 14 carries, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 6 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. Ryan Day said this running game is starting to define this team.
Thought Chip again called a good game, good balance across the board. Again, bigger challenges ahead. We're heading into conference play, but the identity's starting to build, and that running game is starting to build an identity and some confidence, I think, up front, which was needed.
The Big Ten opener is next as the Buckeyes travel to Michigan State next Saturday night at 7. The Browns and the Giants play today at 1. You can hear it live right here on The Fan. The Guardians and Cardinals continue their series at 2:15 today. The Reds go for a sweep over the Pirates at 1:10.
Scotty's kids don't ask how his day was. They ask if all his bets won. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money, 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by Scott Prokop. We, of course, like to call him Scotty Vegas. Mr. Ryan Baker at the controls. And right about now, well, before we do that, hold on, Ryan. Before we do, after we're going to do the parlay party, we want to hear from you guys. 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. Ryan's going to open the phone lines up in just a couple minutes. 614-821-9710. But right now, Ryan Baker, it's time for the parlay party. Hit it. Let's go. Parlay parties where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice parlay that we hit. Could be anything at all. Scotty Vegas, what are you celebrating today?
Yeah, I'm celebrating that this non-conference schedule is done, and we're getting into Big Ten play now the rest of the way. Can't wait for that. This next Saturday night, we got Michigan State, and then it just keeps ramping up from there. Iowa and Oregon. Just look at that schedule and get excited. And guys, this weekend was just all football, right? I'm watching two wonderful games on Friday night, right? Watching Syracuse and Stanford, and that game comes down to a final kick. Watching that Nebraska-Illinois game, and that's an overtime game. That's how I started out my weekend on Friday night. And then Saturday, get to watch the Buckeyes. I actually did a little parlay where I moved the Buckeye line down to 34.5. I got really lucky in what I moved it down to.
Nice work.
And then in game, I was able to get Ohio State, or I was able to actually get Marshall plus 39.5. So I was able to kind of get a little bit of a window there and win both ways. So that was kind of nice. So celebrating that. Also celebrating the fact that my daughter this weekend turned 11 years old, had a big party. We had a lot of fun. People over, people watching football, people out back playing volleyball. Just a great time. And happy birthday to Autumn. Ryan, what are you celebrating?
Well, daughter Vegas, of course, right now. You have to
right.
after that. I'm celebrating that Ohio State is 3-0, and they've looked the part for the most part, as we talked about earlier in the show. You can't help who your opponent is, but you can help how you go out there and handle business. I think they've done a good job of that. Pumped that I got to be a part of the ODU broadcast yesterday. Ohio Dominican losing, unfortunately, a tough one to Thomas More, 6-0. But that was very fun as well. I'm also celebrating that I've still got $100 of free bets on the line today. Yeah. So let's go with some NFL parlays. Hopefully we can get one of those after we were so close last weekend. Dave, how about you?
Yeah, I don't even know if this is... Yeah, it is a celebration, but my oldest daughter has her final week of tennis. It's her fourth year playing varsity. And we have senior night coming up on Wednesday, so it's going to be bittersweet. But overall, It's a good thing. I'm going to have great memories from her days playing high school tennis, and it's crazy. It's like every day for 2 months, and then it just stops. So,
and I gotta say, and you're such a proud dad because we get so many great text updates on.
I'm sure
scores.
You guys appreciate that.
I do. I love the fact that
Ryan does.
I love the fact that you let us know how she's doing in tennis, and I think it's really cool because you're always at those matches, and you're really proud, and it's very cool, and enjoy senior week for sure.
And I'm also celebrating. I think we've nitpicked certain things about the Buckeyes. Yeah, they started slow. But I think overall, Ohio State's looked the way I want them to look overall through 3 games. So I'm celebrating that as well. All right, we want to hear from you guys. 614-821-9710. Give us a call. We're going to open up the lines right now. Ohio State football, betting, Browns, Bengals, college football in general. 614-821-9710. You can hit us up on YouTube. You can hit us up on Twitter. I do have a couple on Twitter. Do you have anything on YouTube?
Well, yeah, I just want to say this. So, again, last hour, you and I were grading the non-conference, how those 3 games went for Ohio State, and you immediately said A-. I had on my sheet written down A-. So we'd love to hear from you guys. What's your overall take from Ohio State's first 3 games? You and I are still, very high on what's happening, and Ohio State is now the betting favorite to win the national championship. Every single sports book out there now has Ohio State as the favorite over Georgia as of this morning.
All right, the first Twitter, this is really more of a comment than a question, comes from none other than Matt Finkus, former Ohio State standout defensive end. Matt Finkus, part of that Finkus, Vrabel, Fickle threesome there. And he says, this is from former defensive end Matt Finkus at Ohio State. Probably the worst coaching job I've ever seen from Lincoln Riley. I think he might be more upset than I am at Lincoln Riley. He said Lincoln Riley spent 3 quarters trying to run into the strength of UM's defense and their DTs before using the quick passing game and route combos for success. Then for some reason continues to believe Orgy will turn into Tom Brady and throw the ball instead of playing gap sound run D. Then he goes on and talks a little bit more. Michigan's not some mystery, and everybody knows they can't throw the ball. Yeah, to me, I still can't believe USC took till the second half to be like, you know what, we're going to try and make them throw the ball. It's like, and they did. Mullings is a good back. Mullings broke that long run, but before that in the second half, they couldn't do anything on the ground. First half, Michigan could do whatever they wanted, and then Mullings had the long run late. Between that, it's like USC actually adjusted. How was that not your game plan entering the game?
Yeah. And gosh, I'll tell you, Dave, once USC finally took that lead in the second half, I thought there was no chance Michigan was going to score and take the lead and win the game. I really did. I thought USC had them at that point, and then Michigan breaks off a long run and gets the win there. All right, let's go to Clay. Clay wants to talk a little fantasy football on the Money. What's up on this Sunday morning, Clay?
Hey, gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing good, Clay.
All right, so I'm defending champion in my league,
nice.
First time ever.
Flex.
It's a half-point PPR 12-team league. I need help in my flex. I got Zamir White, Tank Dell, Mike Evans, Devin Singletary. Mike Evans is going to be on what's his name, Surtain. I don't like that. I got Zamir right now.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's tough benching Mike Evans, but you're right. That is a tough matchup with one of the top corners in football. So it's down to Zamir White. To me,
Devin Singletary, Zamir White.
Yeah. Man, I still might go Mike Evans, though.
Yeah.
I know he's going against Surtain, but still, I might go Mike Evans on that one. It's tough, though.
Zamir White's playing the Panthers. Is that correct?
That is correct, and it's a great matchup. That's one of those, like, five-star matchups.
Run.
Singletary's dead against the Browns.
Yeah. Not playing Singletary. I think it's between White and Evans. I'd probably, and again, Evans, that tough matchup against Denver. I would still, boy, it's hard.
The same exact amount.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to take Mike Evans out of the lineup, right? I mean, I know that White has that matchup, but I would go Evans.
Yeah, I'd go Evans as well. Good luck to you.
Yeah,
this
thanks for the
this
call.
is a blast from the past here.
Yeah, it really is.
We used to do nothing
Start
but
this guy or that guy.
We used
Yeah.
to take nothing but fantasy football calls at this time of the show, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, because there wasn't something called legal sports gambling yet in the state of Ohio.
Thankfully, that's changed. Let's talk to Jack, though. Jack has a question on targeting. Jack, what's up? Welcome to On the Money.
Hey, guys, a fantastic show. It's my favorite show on air.
Oh,
I
appreciate that.
being here.
Thank
But
you.
Going to targeting, I just don't understand. These kids are not doing this maliciously. I understand the rule of the law, but I'm a bitter Ohio State fan going back to that Clemson game when Sean Wade got kicked out. We were up 16-0. That was a third down play. They would have had to punt, game over. But unless your name is Adamakin Sue, I don't think anybody in college football, especially our team, of course, is doing this maliciously. What say you?
I agree with you 100%, and now we have like dozens of examples. And here's the problem: it's the old adage, like, we're not following the spirit of the rule. I think we all agree as football fans, if somebody's out there headhunting, trying to give guys concussions, launching at people, that's the spirit of the rule. Okay, incidental contact when you're trying to like bat down a pass and the helmets collide a little bit. I mean, come on. It should be no different than the face mask, the old face mask, where it was like 5 yards or 15 yards. There should be like a almost get out of jail free if it's technically by the book targeting, but it's not the spirit of the rule. That should. Think about this. What does it take in any other sport to get ejected? Even in football, other than targeting, it takes you to do a lot to get ejected from a football game or any sport. Although in football now we're having incidental contact where the heads barely touch, and that's targeting. Kids are getting kicked out. It's a travesty. It's awful. And it cost Ohio State dearly against Clemson. It cost Ohio State dearly the result of the other way against Georgia 3 years later in the semifinals. So they've got to do something about it. And you can see Ryan Day, when he's asked about it, he just bites his tongue because he's as frustrated as anybody.
Jack, great call. It is the worst call, or it's the worst rule in all of sports. It is. It really is. The fact that you're throwing out kids for the targeting. Now, occasionally, targeting might rise to the point where you got to throw somebody out of a game. But that's got to be a rare exception.
It needs to be something egregious,
it's
right?
Absolutely horrendous how this rule is officiated. And, last hour we do a segment called That's Trash. The That's Trash could be sponsored by replay officials in college football. Like, they are the absolute worst people at their job. Like, they suck.
And it's so easy.
They are so pathetic.
It's officiating, we say this all the time.
Yes.
Officiating football on the field in real time is extremely hard.
Yeah.
Extremely hard. Replays, it's extremely easy.
Yes.
Especially,
you're sitting there. You have a million different angles.
Right.
And actually, they were even yesterday, okay, the fact that they took, 5 to 10 minutes to replay that fumble on the sidelines of whether that was inbounds or out of bounds, that was absolutely stupid, right? Like, it was like, what are we doing? Why are we stopping this game for 10 minutes? Like, when we could clearly see in about, 5 seconds that the ball went out of bounds and was not possessed.
Yeah, it's... Okay. Well, Evan, if you want to call back and talk about targeting, call back 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710. Go ahead, Scotty.
I do have a comment from Tyson, and Tyson is asking about betting teams to make the college football playoff and then also sleepers to win the national championship. And so he's basically looking for good value on teams to make the playoff and then sleeper teams to win the national championship. Dave, you take it first, and then I'll throw a couple out at you.
Say that again. I'm sorry, Scotty.
Tyson wants to know teams out there that you can bet to make the college football playoff, and then also teams out there that are basically long shots or a little bit of a long shot to win the national championship.
I thought you were going to say to make the cut, because we were talking about Indiana being the
Indiana is a good example.
12-1 long shot, not to win the national title, Tyson, but to make the playoff. Indiana at 12-1. He's like, what? Indiana? They're going to lose to Ohio State. Yeah. And maybe they'll lose to Michigan and Bloomington. I don't know if they're going to lose any other game if they end up upsetting Michigan, and who knows if that's even going to be an upset. 11-1 Indiana's getting in. As far as national title, I'm with Scotty. I continue to think there's value in Miami. Here's why. First of all, they're a good team. Like, Cam Ward's probably going to win the Heisman. I think Cristobal's a good fit down there as head coach. They brought a ton of starters back. They were a decent team last year, and they brought a ton of starters back, hit the portal. So that's reason number one. They're actually a good football team. Reason number two, and this is really close to number one, I think they're going to win the ACC, and if they do, that puts them immediately in the quarterfinals because you're going to get a bye in the first round, okay? So then you're 3 wins away from winning it. You're getting 18-1 odds. So Miami would be my pseudo long shot to win it. As far as a team to make it, I'll go with Indiana just as a long shot to make it. What do you think, Scotty?
So I'm starting to buy in more and more on Tennessee as a legit team to win it all. And look, after what they did last night to Oklahoma on the road, and if you actually break down Tennessee's schedule, and I know they play Alabama, but that game is in Tennessee, and they play at Georgia. But if those 2 games, you could lose those 2 games, and Tennessee would still make the college football playoff. I think there's a decent shot that Tennessee can find a way to split against Alabama and Georgia, make the SEC championship game, and potentially be a legit team to win it all. And they're 12-1 right now, so that's a little bit of value. Again, I'm invested heavily in Ohio State to win it all, but if I'm looking for a longer shot, Tennessee might be that team.
I think a lot of people listening are invested in Ohio State winning it all, whether that's monetarily or just emotionally. All right, up next, we're going to hear more from you over the phone lines. Give us a call, 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710. We also have a couple questions we haven't got to from the X machine. All of that's coming up next on The Money.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You could place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Gambling too much or just can't seem to cut your losses? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Maryhaven. Whether it's you or someone you love, we're here to help you control gambling before it controls you. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven is here for you no matter what. And that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Confidential and judgment-free, go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now's the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus, top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
But it'll still feel like summer as it's going to be another hot one this afternoon. Temperatures in the low 90s. As we get into the late afternoon, early evening, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise increasing clouds overnight and lows into the upper 60s. And chances of showers and thunderstorms continue overnight into Monday morning with highs on Monday in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo on The Fan.
Dave Biddle was caught trying to bet on office ping pong matchups. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
All right, welcome back. We want to hear from you here on the Money, 614-821-9710. Give us a call. We're talking about the non-conference portion of the schedule for Ohio State. Now it's over. We want your assessment. How'd it go? Dave and I both graded it an A-. Ryan gave the Buckeyes an A for those first 3 games. We'd love to hear from you. One of the questions I got from Twitter, Dave, and I like this one. This one is from Owen. Owen says, power rank for me, guys, the top 5 Big Ten teams right now. And so I think the way we should do this, Dave, is more so not looking at the standings necessarily, but just the best teams 1 through 5, how we would rank them going forward for the Big Ten Conference. For me, obviously, and you, it's going to be Ohio State at 1, and I think probably for both of us, it's going to be Oregon at 2. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's go 3 through 5, and boy, I got to put Penn State still at 3.
That's what I have jotted down as well.
And 4 is where I think it gets interesting.
Well, I had USC at 4. I actually did power rankings last week for our website.
USC.
And I did 1 through 18.
Ooh. All right, USC 4. Who's 5?
I had USC 4th. No, not anymore.
Okay.
Because I think Michigan now
goes to 4.
Michigan 4. And then it's tough. Do we go Indiana or Illinois? Or Rutgers? I had Nebraska in there at 5 and Michigan 6, Indiana 7. Now Michigan jumping up to 4, USC drops. So it's between Indiana and Illinois. I tell you what, on a neutral field, I'm taking Indiana, but Illinois is good. But Indiana, like we've been saying, they've got a really good head coach. They've got a good quarterback. And he brought pretty much the whole James Madison team with him. Although James Madison, they're doing okay. They scored 53 points in the first half against Mac Brown in North Carolina yesterday. I'll go Indiana 5, but I almost want to pull a Phil Steele and go just a tie at 5. He does that.
With Illinois, Indiana.
He does that. Like he'll be like, okay, this is the team to finish first in this conference, and he'll have like a 5-way tie for second. It's like, come on, just rank them. And I'm saying I love Phil Steele. I'll go Indiana, but I kind of want to go a tie between Indiana and Illinois.
So I'm actually, if Indiana and Michigan played each other this Saturday on a neutral field, I think Indiana would beat them. I really do. I'm actually going to put Indiana at 4, Michigan at 5, and then I would probably have Illinois at 6. Again, maybe I'm too high on Indiana, but I love what I see.
I don't think that's possible.
I love what I see. I really do.
It's just so funny that like we talked about the over/under of 5.5. They're going to start off 6-0.
They're going to start out 10-0.
I mean, they're definitely going to start off 6-0.
And then they're going to be 10-1.
They're going to hit their over like in the minimum amount of games. All right, I have one from the X Machine. We should just keep calling it Twitter. Sorry, Elon. We have one from Twitter. All right, this is from Kashakton Buck. Is Quinshon Judkins our best running back since Zeke? Well, so basically you're asking, is he better than J.K. Dobbins? Because he's better than, and Trey Sermon was good. Definitely better than Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you're including Travion in there.
I've already said I started the show off with I think Travion looks great.
Yeah.
And I think Judkins looks better.
Yeah.
So I want to be clear. I think Travion, it's nothing. In fact, it's definitely nothing against Travion. I think this is the best Travion's looked.
I love them both.
I love it. But I think doesn't Judkins look like he might be the first? And there, some people like Dane Brugler believe he'll be the first running back off the board in the NFL. And doesn't he look like that? So is he better than J.K. Dobbins? I don't know. I'd have to think. Because here's the thing. J.K. is the only running back in Ohio State history to go over 2,000 yards in a season. Okay? But Quinshon has the most rushing yards in all of college football over the last 3 years, including this year being 3 games. Most rushing yards in college football. It's so close between Quinshon and Dobbins. It's so close. I'll say yes. I'll say Quinshon is.
Yeah.
I think he will be the first running back off the board. And J.K. was a great pick in the second round. If it wasn't for his injuries, he would have been a great pick for the Ravens. A steal. It's splitting hairs. It's picking between your kids, but I'll go with Judkins. Recency bias.
So it's a really good question. That's a good question, and I agree with you. I would slightly go recency bias probably. But all right, another question I want to get to is from Ben, and it was: should we be disappointed or mad we didn't see more Julian Sayin in the non-conference schedule here?
We should be irate. Yeah. No, I had a lot of people ask me this last night on the post-game podcast, like, what is going on with Devin Brown? It's like, okay, we're talking about 2 series in the fourth quarter when the game's like, I get it, though. And people are like, well, Julian Sayin should be the number 2 quarterback. Listen, guys, I know what you think. I think if something happened to Will Howard, heaven forbid, and they had to start one of the 2 in a big game, I think Ryan Day knows that Julian Sayin's his second best quarterback. I think Ryan Day knows that Julian Sayin's going to be his starting quarterback next year. This is just my opinion. I'm not hearing this from sources. I think Ryan Day knows Julian Sayin's number 2 right now, and he knows he's the future next year.
I think if that's true, we should be irate then. Because you need to see him in the game. Well, if that is true, that your coach knows that this guy is the second best quarterback and he's a freshman, you have got a plan for stuff that happened in the Cotton Bowl last year. And I'll tell you what, I am irate now if that is true.
He's turning red.
He is. It's just my opinion. Coach Day's maybe going to call in and say, no, Devin's clearly number 2. Coach Day, call in if you'd like to. 614-821-9710, or just text me.
Okay, let me answer this. I'm pretty disappointed as well that we haven't seen more saying. My whole thing is we think he's the future, right, next year. And there's been opportunities for him to get on the field. And I know that they started slow against Akron.
That's the thing. They would tell you, Ryan Day would tell you, well, how about don't only be up by 14 at halftime? I'm sure they wanted to play Julian Sayin more. But then what are you going to do? Playing him last night instead of Devin Brown, what would that have done?
More opportunities on the field.
And mop up duty. They're getting, and I hear what you're saying about Lincoln Keenholz not being ready for the Cotton Bowl. I think that was a practice thing. I don't think they got him. I don't know what the deal was. He just wasn't ready. I think they're getting Julian Sayin ready in practice.
It's just funny because we have talked about years and years and years of, man, we need to get these guys more experience, as this guy's going to be taking over as the quarterback next year probably, and it just never, ever happens.
And that's the thing. And we can say, well, I think it's this, I think it's that, yada, yada, yada. There's history now. I mean, there's a track record now with Ryan Day as coach. He's been here since 2019, and it hasn't happened once. We had no clue what we had with Kyle McCord and Devin Brown going into last year.
Even Stroud didn't play much as a redshirt freshman backing up Fields, but that was the COVID year, though, in defense.
Yeah, absolutely, and things were weird then. There's also a history of not stepping on the gas from the beginning and most of the time, and blowing people out and getting these guys in and let them play a whole third quarter and a fourth quarter. So I was disappointed. Now I'm a little upset about it. If that's a true feeling over there, and we don't know, but
I'm guessing. I've not heard that from sources. This is just my guess. If you gave Ryan Day truth serum, who's your second best quarterback? I think he would say Julian Sayin. Now maybe it is a situation where they feel like right now, like Devin Brown, but people talk about Devin Brown's experience. I mean, okay, he's a couple years older than Julian Sayin. He hasn't even played that many more snaps in college than Julian Sayin. You know, it's not like he's like this. Yeah, he started one game. He was hurt pretty much throughout the year last year. Even the one game he started didn't even make it to halftime because he got hurt. So the experience factor with Devin Brown, I have a hard time believing that.
I think we all agree, though, we've seen enough, right?
Yes.
I will say this, though, guys. I am curious if Ohio State didn't give up that touchdown at the end of the first half, and Ohio State goes into halftime up 21, and then probably scores to start the second half, and then is up 28. Then I'm wondering if that's the point where Ohio State was expecting to get backup quarterbacks in. And then, unfortunately, things changed because Marshall cut it to 14, and then Ohio State came out, out of the second half, scored, and it was only 21. So I do wonder if they would have gotten more time for the backups if that last touchdown didn't happen right before half. When we come back, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little NFL. We're going to do our little segment called Convince Me. Ryan is always a terrible judge at it, but we're going to do that next on The Money.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in, High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America for the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It's simply the largest spirits competition in the world, and we've got the best right here in Columbus, Ohio. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Start Reaction Monday off in style with Bobby and Beam on Morning Juice. They're talking Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, and 8:20, and probably all the other minutes in between.
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the sports book, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You could place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Scotty Vegas has his own cot in the casino. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. Wanna play?
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Ryan Baker. Right about now, it's time for Convince Me. Judge Ryan Baker will ask a question. Scotty and I will try and convince him of the best answer, and then he will make his ruling. Ryan, the floor is yours.
All right, guys, we know that the NFL is king in this country as far as dominating the TV markets. They get all the ratings. They've taken Christmas Day away from the NBA. They're doing it all. But is there a TV opportunity that the NFL is missing out on?
You go first.
Okay. This is like a rap battle, you know.
Guys look like Night at the Roxbury in there.
Well, first off, like Eminem, you know, and then the was it 12? What was it? Is it 8 Mile? 8 Mile. It's like we're looking at each other. You go first. All right, I'll go first.
I'm going to adjust as a question a little bit.
Let this bleep go first.
That's not how I thought it was going to come out.
All right, here we go.
You told me.
Here we go. All right. Here is a opportunity that's being missed that used to be a great thing in football. Thursday night college football. You say, well, wait, NFL though. Yeah, but a lot of people don't like these Thursday night games, or even if you think it might be a good game, it's a dud, or you know ahead of time it's a dud. Not everybody has Amazon Prime. And even if, give me a college football game on Thursday night, a good college football game every Thursday night, maybe 2. And I just don't understand why they don't do it. We had this past Friday, we had 2 college football games on. So we have it on Friday. We have a history of it succeeding on Thursday. You can't tell me just because there's one NFL game on, and usually the Thursday game's a dud. I think college football is missing an opportunity to not have a marquee game each Thursday night.
Okay, good answer.
Thank you.
I agree with that. I think we need to go back and have a more quality Thursday night. I think there was Appalachian State was playing on Thursday night. I know because I bet on it. And
South Alabama?
Yeah, South Alabama. South Alabama killed my initial parlay.
50-14 or something. Listen, if you play football in North Carolina this year, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
NC State, North Carolina, Appalachian State. It's just bad news in North Carolina. Basketball starting soon, though.
How about those numbers in the North Carolina game yesterday? All right, I got to get to my convince me here. Okay, 2 things. One, and I think this actually was an original idea out of you, and I agree 100%. I wish that we could get the entire conversation between the replay official and the official that's on the field that is determining things when these replays are happening. That's one thing that we need with TV is the conversation between the officials on this, because the replay officials are so bad and so wrong so often that honestly, and I think Gus and Joel were joking about this yesterday, about maybe they should just determine one way or the other the call, because they talk about it and then the replay official generally gets it wrong or takes way too long to make that decision. So that's one thing TV wise. The other thing that we're missing out on, guys, is kind of a college football schedule release party. I like what the NFL does where they make a big deal about the schedule coming out. I hate that we know all these advanced schedules in college football, and I know they schedule these games out 4, 5, 6 years in advance sometimes. Stop doing that. It's like stop at least saying that these are coming out, and let's have a day during the year, maybe it's in spring, where we make a huge big old TV deal out of it and we announce the big non-conference matchups in college football. I think those are 2 TV opportunities that would be really cool that we're missing out on.
Scotty, I tried to tell you to just do one, because if you would have stopped,
I don't listen to you.
If you would have stopped at 1, you would have definitely won this one easy.
Okay.
I don't know about that college football schedule release, though. I don't think it would.
That'd be boring to you? You don't like college football?
I mean, it would be boring to me. I wouldn't watch it. That's just me. But, I mean, there's so many moving parts in it. I think it might be difficult. Dave, I think college football and it's good to have options. I think college football on Thursdays would end up being a dud because of the NFL on Thursdays now. I really do. The one thing I do like is I think we need to go through the replay process. One of the spring leagues did that. Remember, they had the TV in the booth and you could hear them all. So, Scotty, you're going to win this one because I think that replay process, it should be like full disclosure, but you should have stopped at 1.
Judge Ryan Baker has ruled, and I finally win one. I think my record now goes to 2-50 in Convince Me.
That sounds about right.
I want to get into Bryce Young a little bit. My gosh.
A little, the operative word.
Yeah, pun intended. Really, it was no pun intended, but we'll go with it. Yeah, man. I mean, and the fact, obviously, that C.J. Stroud was taken right after him just makes it even more unbelievable that they picked him. And I believe, I know I'm definitely not alone in this opinion. I believe with every bone in my body, Frank Reich wanted C.J. Stroud, and the Panthers' awful owner, David Tepper, overruled him. Now, we are 2 games into Bryce Young's second season, number 1 overall pick of the draft, and they've benched him. And it's not like, well, we're going to bench him, but he's going to come back in a couple games. We're just going to give him no, they're saying this is not like a temporary thing. getting benched for Andy Dalton. You're the number one pick of the draft. And now, they're doing stories. Is he the biggest bust ever? And you're hearing names like Jamarcus Russell, Achilles Smith, names you don't want to hear if you're a quarterback. And again, it's the fact that C.J. Stroud was taken right after him just makes it even worse.
It's hilarious. It really is. I mean, I think it's funny because, I remember thinking, how are you taking him above C.J. Stroud? It was just a weird scenario. And again, maybe we were biased in watching C.J. as much as we did. Oh, wait, no. C.J. just ended up having the best rookie quarterback season. Like, it was ridiculous. And, the fact is, Carolina is so bad. They have now in 2 games been outscored by a total of 60 points. I mean, they are absolutely horrendous. And they're a team that I look at them and look, things happen in the NFL, but it's hard to find wins on their schedule. Like it's going forward, and I know they're going to Andy Dalton. This is a team that could be one of those all-time bad ones.
Couldn't the Panthers wait till after week 4? Because the Panthers are playing the Bengals in week 4. So Andy Dalton's going to turn into like Joe Montana that game to get revenge on the Bengals. There shouldn't be much revenge there. He made over $100 million playing quarterback for the Bengals.
You brought this up during the break, though, Dave. What could you get in a trade for Bryce Young?
I was just about to say, because there's all this talk out there that the Panthers, this is so funny. I laugh when I see some of these headlines like Panthers are listening to trade offers for Bryce Young. Oh, really? Really? Okay. I'm listening to, and if does anybody want to buy my 76 Yugo? It's like, okay, great. I'm glad what are you listening for? A conditional 7th round pick? Here's the problem. Okay, if you trade for Bryce Young, in addition to him being a bad quarterback, guess what? You're taking on his contract as well. And yeah, you didn't pay him the signing bonus of a number 1 pick, but here's what you're going to be paying Bryce Young if you trade for him, okay? He's going to be making $6.1 million each of the next 2 years, guaranteed. Now, you're not going to pick up his 5th-year option, but 2025, you're going to be on the hook for $6.1 million. 2026, you're going to be on the hook for $6.1 million. So you're going to get a bad quarterback who would be small for high school football standards. I'm not even joking. It's not just his height. It's he's narrow. It's both. He's narrow and he's short. You're going to get a bad quarterback who's undersized and who's well overpaid. I wouldn't even give up a 7th rounder for him. And some people say, well, how about the Dolphins trade for him? Okay. What are you going to give up for him?
Yeah.
To pay him $12 million, whatever. He's still making. This year's not bad. This year, prorated, you're only going to pay him about $1 million, maybe a little more than $1 million the rest of the year. Okay, but then you have guaranteed over $6 million on the books each of the next 2 years.
The Panthers are 2-16 with Young as their starter, which is the worst record through 18 games of any quarterback selected with the top pick in the Super Bowl era. And you were throwing out names of bust quarterbacks. You're absolutely right. Like Jamarcus Russell, I think Zach Wilson is also in that territory too.
Trey Lance,
absolutely. And think about what some of these teams gave up to get these guys.
That's the thing about Bryce. That's the thing about Bryce Young
and Trey Lance.
Yeah, and Trey Lance. And the 49ers, people don't talk about that. And now the guy that did the story for The Athletic, which I remember his name, did a great job. He said it's like Trey Lance, Achilles Smith. He gives almost Jamarcus Russell, not a pass, but he took him out because he had substance abuse issues. Okay. I would still put Jamarcus Russell in there. I don't think he ever was going to be a quality NFL quarterback. There was talk he couldn't read the field. A lot like Achilles Smith. Bengals take Achilles Smith 3rd overall, and immediately there's talk, oh, yeah, he can only read one side of the field. Oregon's coaches would only have him read one side of the field because he couldn't. I'm like, oh, my God. So it's basically like Achilles Smith, Trey Lance. I mean, again, when these names are being bandied about and you're Bryce Young, that's bad.
I think the Trey Lance comparison is dead on because of what those teams that they traded with ended up with for them, because they gave up so much. Like the Dolphins have Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. They ended up with Bradley Chubb, all because of that Trey Lance trade.
I want to switch gears just for a second here and talk one quick college football question for you, because we're all going to be very excited and locked in this coming Saturday, obviously to Ohio State, Michigan State, but Georgia, Alabama is going to go on at the same time. I wanted to ask you guys, who will you be rooting for next Saturday night in that game? Again, obviously it'll probably depend on which way you end up putting money on it, betting on the game, if you do decide to bet on it. But who are you rooting for, and what's your initial thoughts on who's going to win that game? Because I'll tell you, I think Alabama getting +2.5 at home against Georgia, I kind of think there's value on Alabama at home. That's my initial lean. And, of course, if I bet it. I'll root for it.
I don't know who I'm going to root for. I think Georgia's going to win and cover. You look at how they looked. We thought Clemson sucks, right? Maybe Clemson doesn't suck. Georgia made them look like they suck.
What about the Kentucky game, though?
And that's true, but I will say this, though. I will say this. As we all know, conference game on the road at night. And Kentucky's a solid team. You know, they're a solid team. Stoops has built them into a solid team, solid program. Again, though, I don't think Georgia's a world beater, and that's why Ohio State's now, jumped them to be the favorite to win the national title. But I heard Nick Saban talking about this, and he's been very honest. He's like, listen, until somebody proves it, I'm picking Georgia. So if he's picking Georgia, I'm picking Georgia.
I don't know if it's rooting, but I've been super high on Alabama. I really like Kalen DeBoer as a coach, so I'm pretty sure my money will be in Alabama somehow, and I think that's the way I would lean.
Scotty?
You got to think, too, with Milroe. If Milroe comes out of that game and Alabama does pull the upset and win that one, he's got to be right up there with Cam Ward as far as a Heisman favorite.
Yeah, I'm not giving Cam Ward the Heisman yet like some people are.
No, you can't give it to him yet. He's got to prove it. But I'm glad he's the betting favorite. I might have made a futures bet on him a few weeks ago. What about you? You answered your own question. What do you think?
I'm leaning Bama. I am leaning Bama at home plus 2.5. I watched pretty much that entire Georgia-Kentucky game, and I saw Georgia get dominated up front, and that surprised me. And so I feel like Alabama at home is the play next Saturday night. Can't wait for it.
We're going to make some more good plays next with best bets on the money.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You could place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Heaven on earth. It's here in the mountain towns of West Virginia, draped in vibrant reds, yellows, and oranges. Some of America's most spectacular fall colors. The perfect backdrop to autumn adventure, from scenic train rides to fall festivals, and a cozy cabin waiting at the end of the day. Fall is almost heaven in West Virginia. Plan your getaway at wvtourism.com.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now's the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus, top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Want to know anything about the fans' contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas both think they're right. Chances are they're both wrong. On the Money presents Best Bets.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. If you need a driveway, garage, patio, even an in-ground pool, Maxima Concrete are the guys to call. Schedule a free estimate today at maximaconcrete.com.
So, looking at the NFL today, I'm looking at a little Ohio parlay, guys. Taking the Browns and the Bengals on the money line. Browns, of course, here on the Fan. That game is at 1 o'clock, and then the Bengals tomorrow night. You get the all-Ohio parlay. Both teams just to win. They're both about a touchdown favorite, and you get minus 139. I think that's a nice bet. I'd be surprised if either of the Ohio teams lose. And I'm going to focus most of my attention this week to college football and a couple bets. Again, I initially like this Indiana line against Maryland. It came out, it was 5.5. I grabbed that right away. It's now been bet up to 7.5. I would hop on Indiana over Maryland. Indiana's a good team. The other line that I was looking at initially, too, Rutgers 2.5 against Washington. And Rutgers, to me, is one of those teams that people don't respect, and the odds makers haven't respected them enough. And I think 2.5 is not enough. I think they should be a bigger favorite against Washington. I don't think Washington is all that good this year. So those are my college football bets for next weekend. And then one more. I am throwing in a little long shot to make the college football playoff. I am taking the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm taking Indiana to go 11-1 this year, Dave. Their one loss will be here in Columbus to Ohio State. But I think they're going to win the rest of their games. Looking at their schedule, I think they have Michigan at home. They have Nebraska at home. And then after that, they have a pretty manageable schedule, a really good offense. They're going to be shocking the world and making the college football playoff. The Indiana Hoosiers, not the NCAA tournament, the college football playoff. Dave, what are your best bets?
Me hitting that over on Indiana's win total is going to help mitigate the amount of money I lost on USC and the worst defensive game plan in the history of football. All right. Not that I'm still bitter about it or anything. All right. You mentioned this earlier. I'm going to jump on this. Illinois plus 17.5. That's too many points at Penn State. Now, could be a little bit of a letdown factor. That was a big win for Illinois. At Nebraska, Illinois was a 7-point dog. They win in overtime. They now have wins over 2 top 25 teams. Now, Kansas isn't really a top 25 team, but they were when they played. First time since Illinois went to the Rose Bowl in 2007 that they've beaten 2 top 25 teams in the same year. I like Illinois plus 17.5. Penn State's going to win that game, but I think Illinois' defense is good. And Luke Altmaier was a big-time recruit. Then he transferred to Illinois last year from Mississippi State. Didn't look that good. Or was at Ole Miss, one of the Mississippis. He was okay last year. Now as a fourth-year junior, Altmaier looks good. They've got a really good defense. I think Illinois is going to give Penn State a tough game.
And you and I are both on Ohio State minus 24.5. We think that number, good chance that number goes up. I know it's the first road game.
Yeah.
But I think we both agree on that, right?
Yeah, and I do. I think that is going to tick up. I do like Ohio State to cover that spread. So, and one for the NFL today, quick little parlay, you can get 3-1 odds. I like the Ravens to cover 1.5 against the Cowboys, and I like the Colts to cover 1.5 against the Chicago Bears.
I'm with you on that Ravens. I think that's a good pick. I think this is a bounce back for Lamar.
All right, that is our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it very much. For Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker, I am Dave Biddle. Don't go anywhere. Up next is pregame coverage of the Cleveland Browns with Tyvis Powell and the guys. This has been On the Money.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in, High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America for the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It's simply the largest spirits competition in the world, and we've got the best right here in Columbus, Ohio. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
I've been doing this for almost 35 years. I learned everything from my grandfather. We still do everything old school. We do things the way I was taught to do them. We take care of our employees, we take care of their families, we take care of our clients. That's part of running a good business. We will always do business the right way, which I feel is the only way.
Visit Rosati Windows and save 35% on all windows.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.